What's up, peoples? All right, so we're continuing with the Aston Martin. Well, these are summer tunes right here. Remy, good to see you. NG, good to see you. These are summer tunes. Angel, what's going on? So we're still on bag 4. Still on bag 4 or bag 3. No, sorry, bag 2. We're still on bag 2. Nice, MG. You got the new set. You got the new Shang-Chi. Awesome. Awesome. For those who don't know, it is veteran Lego Dad's birthday, Roger's birthday. So, Kate, what's up? Great stream tonight. Great stream tonight celebrating Roger's birthday. That was really good. This was the closest military type shirt that I have. So, that's all I got. So, I have Popeye on the shirt. And Popeye is known as a Navy man. So, that's the closest thing I have to a military personnel. So, yeah, it looked like it was a great time. Definitely a lot of cool people came on to celebrate. Some interesting ways of showing appreciation to Roger. So, I think that's what's so cool about this community. So, that's cool. All right, let's see. There you go. Like this. Okay, I see you. All right. Just place 2 clips in here. So this thing is starting to come out really nice. I like it. Hey Corey, did Fox made a decision to renew? Yeah, after the numbers came out, after all the numbers came out for Lego Masters, yeah, when everything came out for Lego Masters, that's what pretty much happened. They renewed. What they do is they usually wait till the season come out. Then they have to look at the numbers, and if it warrants a second season, there's an interest, then people they'll redo it. But because of COVID, it delayed a lot of production. So they had to move production from California, and they had to move it all the way over to that might be too bright. They had to move it all the way over to Atlanta. So that's what happened there. Angel says, have you ever built the Metal Beard car from the Lego Movie 2? No, I have not. I have not built that yet. Tim! What's up, my man? Good to see you. What we're building, we are continuing the Aston Martin. So that's what I'm building. I'm going to try to finish up this Aston Martin. Then we're going to move on. We're going to go and finish up the Daily Bugle. Then I'm going to start my car series. Oh, absolutely. Let's bring you in, Tim. So let's definitely do that. Tim is a Lego master. Tim, how's it going, my friend?
Well, I'm not the only one, my friend.
Oh my goodness!
I figured you're in your element, and I figured I'd share my element. Just chilling, relaxing, watching the sunset.
Now that's a better element than what I got going on here. I'm upstairs in a hot attic with a little small fan, trying not to sweat. So I would trade in a heartbeat. How's it going, man? How's it been?
No, it's been a busy couple of days, and so I was actually just on live and sharing about the fact that there's sometimes we need to disconnect or find our hobby, and it looks like everybody's got their ability to be able to kind of just chill or find a hobby to disconnect from the adrenaline-packed world, right?
Yes, and for us who have discovered this, I like to call it a temporary fame. You need that. You need that break. You need that moment of just kind of restart, recharge the engine. We all need that. So
100%.
Yeah, I haven't been camping, man. I want to say prior to me going off to Lego Masters. So like in 2019, that was the last time I was camping. I was in Wisconsin. I was out there camping.
Were you North Wisconsin or South Wisconsin?
Oshkosh. So.
Yeah, that's a beautiful spot.
Oh yeah, big camping event. It was like a big camporee, international camporee. There were kids from all over the world that was there. It was awesome. It was awesome.
So, yeah, I see. I think that's Rick Huntress. I can't quite read it here, but she's saying about sharing an experience. Can I comment on that? Is that okay? I don't want to steal your feed.
No, go ahead. Not at all.
That's one of the coolest things, and I'm so thankful that Lego Master edited it the way that they did. I'm thankful they told the story that they did, because that was truly my purpose, was for going to Lego Master and actually being a part of that, was the fact of being able to have a highlight or put a pin at the peak of a transition for my son's life.
Wow.
And so what we were doing, or I should say what I was doing when I was looking at it from a perspective of how do we create a moment that we can basically remember for the rest of our lives. And Zach being 18, the youngest Lego master on the show, I think in the U.S., I think ever probably. But we were able to take that moment, spend the weeks together with just the two of us, and then COVID made it even more. It was just the two of us, because COVID really kind of did some of that stuff with us. But I've done that with each one of my boys. My oldest is now 22. Well, going to be 22. Wow. Zach is 18. And spending that one-on-one time, I think, is so important. It's something that we're missing in the world. Let me just put it that way, because I know that there's a lot of dads out there doing a lot of stuff and trying real hard, but there's some dads that just go MIA, or in some cases or some situations, they think that all they have to do is just win the money, bring the money home, and just provide house and shelter and food. But kids need more than that. Kids need so much more than that. So,
you bring up a great point. When I was in high school, I had a circle of friends, still have the same circle of friends till this day. We don't hang out as much because our lifestyles and our, where we are in life is different. But, out of all of us, it was about 6 of us in the circle. I was the only one who had his dad in his life. All my other friends, they knew their dad. They knew who he was. But my dad was the one who I lived with. He was the one who taught me how to cook. He taught me how to sew. He taught me how to fix things. He taught me literally everything that I know. And, that was always, I always kind of wore that as a mantle that, we can change the stigma, amongst us. And even now, my friends, out of the 6 of us, 3 of us now have kids, and they're all active. We're all active in our child's life, and, we want to change that stigma. And you raise a great point.
That was actually, we had his graduation ceremony here this last Sunday, and that was, am I messing you up? Looks like you're counting. I don't want to mess you up.
No. You're not. You're not.
So we had our graduation thing for Zach here this last Sunday, and part of because we do our own. It's different than we homeschool. I don't know if everybody knows that, but we homeschool Zach, and
Wow.
so we've homeschooled all of our kids coming through. But so we had our own ceremony here at the house. And that's I kind of get up and I do like a little 5-minute speech thing. But the one thing that we were talking about was passing the mantle of leadership from one generation to the next. And it gave me an opportunity to be able to raise him up and to be able to put him and say, look, this is the moment that you're becoming a man and you're becoming your own individual and spreading those wings. I'm sorry, we're getting deep on a Lego build moment.
No. This is even better because there are people who on right now. Like I saw Manny in here. And Manny and Nestor being a father-son team as well, they resonate. So yeah, continue.
Yeah. So we looked at it, and I look a lot about history, and I brought in when I'm sure you're familiar, like King David, when he passed the mantle of leadership from King David to Solomon.
Yes.
And there's a whole scripture, a whole chapter that talks about how he actually presented and gave him a plan. And there was a challenge, and this is what I said to Zach was, number one is just as you step into manhood, identify that challenge. What is that thing that you're going to do, right? And then as you keep moving, what's the plan that you're going to craft to be able to meet that challenge? And then number three is full well that no matter what, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be hard times. There's going to be good times. There's going to be a lot of challenges that come in and just kind of get you off that plan or try to sway you, and then you come back and all this other kind of stuff that's going to happen in life. But that's where it's a matter of sticking true and knowing that there's a greater help that can work and push you towards and completing that challenge. So that was our little shindig thing. So anyway,
that is deep. It's impactful.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go deep. I don't know why it's just coming out.
No. But you know what? My dad. One thing I would always treasure and share with my father is the fact that we would have long conversations. So I'm the oldest of the two boys. We have 3 older sisters, so I'm not by any means like eldest, just the eldest boy. But my dad would sit and he would have long conversations with me for hours, literally hours. We would sit and we'll talk, and most times I'm listening. But when we had those moments of kind of breakthroughs, those moments resonated the most. It was those times where he was like, I'm very proud of you. And it made all my efforts mean everything. Like everything else I do, if my dad didn't say like, hey, I'm proud of what you did, because you've gone further than I could have gone or that I did, and all that stuff, it resonates with a son. So I guarantee you, like,
dad out there, listen to what Sam just said there. It is so important for a dad to tell their son and daughter that they're proud of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those words. There's a deep need, and even I'm almost 50 now, right? So I'm kind of getting older. But listen, I mean, like, I still need that. I need to hear that my dad is proud of me, and there's a certain element of that, even as old as I am, that I long for that. I desire. It's something that aches in my soul. Right. And if you're a dad listening, take the time. Just tell your kids that you're proud of them, and that's gonna. I'm not even kidding. That when I tell you this, it's amazing to see the transition and the shift in your children when they know that they've done something to make you proud. That's what they're living for.
Yes.
That's what they're trying to attain. So,
like, literally, my whole growing up has always been to kind of prove my parents wrong. And I say that with all absolute respect. My mom and my dad were the ones who probably challenged me the most because whenever I would act up in school, and I would usually doodle or I'll talk. If I'm not talking, I'm drawing. If I'm not drawing, I'm talking while the teacher is talking. Terrible. And I had a really rough time in the 5th grade. And my mom and dad, they came in, had a parent-teacher conference, and my dad said that I'm so embarrassed and I'm so disappointed. That's what he said. And my dad never really used words like that. He used more colorful words growing up. But he used that, and I was just like,
Christian.
Yeah. And that got me hard. That got me hard because it was like, wow. I thought I was being a class clown. I thought I was having fun and everything like that. But, to know that I did that to my dad and for him to say those words totally changed me. And I said, all right, going forward, my life is going to be to do better, to make him proud, and for him to eat those words and stuff like that, and sort of speak. So yeah, the words that you say can impact your kid's life, and I'm living proof of that.
Oh, forever. Yeah. And there's so many times too, and I want to be cautious because I've seen this in my own children as they're going and growing up. Sometimes when they're just not, I don't know how to say this in the right way. So if you're a teacher listening or watching, I apologize in advance. but there's some kids that are just not built for school. I don't know how to say it other than that. They're just not built for school, right? I mean, my oldest son did terrible in school. He was like the worst student ever.
Oh my gosh.
But Micah is extremely talented, extremely smart, but he learns through doing. Okay. And so he went to college or a one-year school kind of a thing. And when you know it, the school was built around more of a trade type school where it was a activity kind of learning experience for him. Mm-hmm. And just by him, hang on, Rosie is going crazy here. Down, it's my dog. Anyway, I start to talk, and all of a sudden she's just like, I get right up next to him. But he actually made honors. He made honors at the class because he was learning in his element. He was learning a certain way because he just really struggles with the book learning aspect. Mm-hmm. And so as the dad, I have to look at that and say, okay, is he applying himself? Is he doing what he's doing? And are we teaching him in the way that he needs to learn, right? Because there's so many different aspects of learning. Zach, on the other hand, man, he's been such a great student and learns all of his stuff and just does the work. And just watching our kids, I've got 3 now, and they're all different. So I don't know what to say other than just look at your kids, find something that I know you can do this. Find something that you can be proud of, and then do that. Something else too. You said this about having long conversations. I would suspect. I'm going to ask you. Did you have those conversations while you guys were doing something else?
Most of the time, yeah. So my dad was Mr. Handyman. He had this philosophy that that another man should not do any work, any type of maintenance in his own house. And I'm like, Dad, people go to school to do these things. And he's like, yeah, I get that, but no, not in my house. So we'll learn how to do that. My mother wanted a bigger closet for her laundry room. My dad was like, all right, we're going to make it. I was like, yeah, but how are we going to do that, Dad? Do we go and get the material from or do we go to like IKEA and stuff like that? Nope. We're going to get the stuff and we're going to build it. We're going to measure it. We're going to do all that stuff. And we did projects like that all the time. And while we were doing that, that's when he will talk to me.
Yeah. I have found, and this is where with Zach and I know there's the little meme coming out from Lego Masters and everything, but it says, Lego is our connector, and he does that boom ting kind of thing, right? That was a big thing. Yeah. But it's the truth, because what I have found when I build with Zach, we'll go for hours and just talk about, just general non-serious stuff. And then all of a sudden, a serious question will come up. And that gives me the chance to be able to speak into his life. And so when we're looking at that as a dad, and that's what I figured is probably going to be the same situation with you, is the fact that your dad was doing things with you, and then all of a sudden, it like out of the blue, would come up, and it would be, we need to talk about the serious thing. And then that's when he spoke into your life, and that's when he, shared those how to be a great person and just the life experiences, lifestyle. So. Oh yeah,
that definitely happened. It still is happening. Me and my dad I talk to my dad at least like maybe once or twice a week. And last year when we were on Lego Masters, it pained me because my dad, for those who don't know, most people do know, he is legally blind. So his eyes started to progressively get worse as last year and the following year went by. So he wasn't really able to fully enjoy seeing me and my brother on TV. We had the family over. My mom was crying. It was a huge thing. And then, he was looking at the TV, and I was asking him, I was like, hey, Dad, you all right, man? How you feel? He said, I can't see too good, but I heard your voice.
Yeah.
And when I looked, I saw I saw your kind of like your image. I saw a little bit of your face, and I'm like, wow, my son is on TV. And I was like, Dad, this like it. All of the stuff that we did on Lego Masters mean nothing if you and Mom were not here to appreciate and just enjoy this moment.
Enjoy the experience. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I commend you, man. Cause for you to be, be able to be on the show with your son, and you mentioned this earlier, and I was going to ask you about this. How you said, you and your son, you guys were on the show, and you liked how they edited and they did everything. For you guys, a package where you guys could, each team gets a package, each team gets, a team of editors to edit you, to bring you out in front of America and stuff like that. Yeah. And, the background of you guys, playfully bantering and everything like that, you pushing them in. Every time I see you pushing them in the snow, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest dad. It's like the youngest son, he's just like, oh man, I got the dad that's just like, he's not the quiet dad that just says, all right, good job, son. He goes back to his paper. He's like all in my life and stuff. And that was just a really amazing thing. And I think Lego Masters have been doing a great job from this season, last season, just showing the love that a father and a son should have. That has been so powerful. And I think you guys definitely brought it on the show. And even when you guys, had to go, that was an emotional departure. I was sitting at home and I was like, I was crushed because I was just like, man, I would have loved to see more adventures. I would have loved to see more of the back and forth. I wanted to see more dabbing.
We'll have more adventures.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're gonna have tons of adventures.
Oh yeah. That's without a doubt. But man, you guys really brought that love and support on the show. And I know people.
So I like the kind of the story, the aspect, the promos, all the stuff they did. But to me, what I was really, I'll just be honest with you, I was slightly concerned because it's Hollywood. Mm-hmm. They're going to edit stuff the way that they edit. They want to tell a good story, right. And I was slightly concerned when we did end up getting off or knocked off. I was slightly concerned on how they were going to edit the end of that and how they were going to edit that talk part of it. I wish they could have shared a little bit more about Zach's monologue that he had, because he actually shared a good bit more than what they did. But again, it's 45 minutes, right? It's like you got to get stuff in there. So that's why I said I'm really thankful for how they did it. But it meant a lot to me to hear Zach talk about the experience from his perspective, right? Because we do so much for our kids, and we give a lot for our kids. But just to hear that he's appreciative of it, that means a lot to me as a dad, right? So, from the son's part of it, to be able to go back and share with your dad, hey, appreciate how you sacrificed, appreciate how you allowed me to get that step up. I mean, I'm all about communicating with your dad or communicating with your son, whichever position that you're in. Now, one thing I'm going to make a note, and because I know this has happened a lot, and I've actually got several friends that their dads have either passed or their dads have gone MIA, or something happened, right? Typically, there's somebody in your life that has stepped in that kind of assumes that role. Sometimes it's the mom, sometimes it's, it just depends on the situation, but don't be afraid to ask for somebody to step in and ask for that mentor. Because that's really an important thing. Sometimes we ignore that. We've got this whole John Wayne mentality in the United States, like, hey, I got it under control, I'm fine, everything's fine. Dude, I ain't fine. Just be honest with you, I ain't fine a lot of times. And I know when we kind of dig under the cover, peel back the layers of the onion. Right. Now, there's times I struggle too. I mean, that's why I have to disconnect, and you, I'm sure, have to disconnect at times, because there's times we're not fine. There's times we don't have it under control. So it's not a shameful thing to ask for help.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you mentioned something very important. The mothers, there are mothers who pretty much do everything. Unfortunately, the father is not around, whether just physically or passing or whatever. So a lot of mothers, they got to step up, and they got to step in and fill that role. And it's so important that we, oh wow, that's a lot. I like it. It's so important that we take that break, understand that we are, someone made this great analogy, and it was like, we're just like cars. If you strip away all the mechanical stuff to it, we're just like cars. If a car run out of gas, it can't drive. If it runs out of oil, it can't move. Like there are so many components that you got to switch out. You got to change. Sometimes you just got to let the car sit and not be driven. Just for whatever. And it's to say we work the same exact way, and it's
I
so
love that
important.
illustration.
Yeah, I don't remember who. I'm just gonna say I made it up.
Well, it's funny you're saying that because I kind of use a similar illustration, but I use the check engine light. So there's certain
Nice.
things in my life. Yeah, there's certain things in my life that I know they're check engine lights, and if I start doing or acting in this way, it's a check engine light that I have in my brain. Like, oh, dude, you need to disconnect. You need to go find time by yourself. You need to go back and find your center, right?
Yeah.
One of them is when I get real short with my kids, when I get real impatient with my kids and I get irritated with them. If that starts to happen, it's a check engine light for me to say, okay, I got to disconnect and go find my center again, and then come back as the person that I'm supposed to be.
Okay, that makes sense, and that's good advice for anybody. Parents, non-parents. Before you blow up, before you just run out of steam, kind of take that. You know what? Let me check this real quick and come back. So that makes sense. So are you out there with the family or by yourself? What's going on?
My house.
Oh, that's your house. Oh my gosh. So you see this view every day then?
Oh, every day. I'll go. Sun's just about set, so give me a second. See if I can not go too far so I don't lose the connection to the speed.
Right.
Let's see.
Oh man, that is the view every day. My life would be like I would be there every morning, every sunrise, every sunset, just like.
Yeah. So here's I'm not quite done. So we were like really letting me into my world here. So I'm not quite done, but I built that patio.
Oh,
Here's
nice.
my chairs. I still have to finish it out over there because that's what's going on.
Check that out.
This is where we live in northern Michigan. So
Wow.
we live on a peninsula. They got a lake on this side here.
Uh-huh.
This is the South Lake. This is the North Lake.
Whoa.
But
Wow.
this is how I disconnect. I come out here just to work it.
Definitely, and you need it. You need it. Like I said, like when I used to go camping, one of the most enriching parts of camping was when I used to just walk away from everybody. I used to find the stream. I used to sit by the stream for hours, just sitting there with my thoughts, thinking about life, thinking about the decisions I've made, the errors that I've made, how I've grown, how I haven't grown, all these different things I would do and I would think about. And I still try to make time for that here. Even though I live behind a playground, like the playground is literally right there. So I hear kids playing and all that stuff. The pool is behind there. There is a path, like a running path that is so serene. Like there's nobody out there certain times. And I could just walk the path and just kind of, get my day started. I'm working with kids, I have to be, my patience level have to be right, and my mentality has to be right for them as well. So,
so we're actually the second week of August. We are going on a backpacking trip, and it's myself and the two boys.
Nice.
And we're going up the Pictured Rocks. You can Google it, you can see it, but it's a 40-mile hike. We're going 5 days, about 8 to 10 miles a day, kind of a thing, and totally disconnected, carrying all our backpacks and everything, man. That would be fun to have you come along, Sam. I think that would be so much fun to have you come along. I don't know if you can, but I do have room if you wanted to do it. I don't know if you got the equipment or wanted.
Well, I do have backpacking equipment. I do. I would have to update. I would have to go through it and update it because I know a couple of my things in there may be updated, may need a new first aid kit, some rope, bungee, even my sleeping bag, yeah, that would be awesome. But you said when?
Because this is kind of short notice. It's like only a month away. But you're welcome. If you can work it out, you'd be more than welcome to come along.
August, you said?
Second week in August.
Second week in August. Weekend or week?
It's the whole week. So we have to be on the trail 6 a.m. Monday morning. We get off the trail Saturday, that following Saturday.
Yeah. I will be doing my summer camps that week.
Yeah.
Like weekend, I could kind of swing the weekend. I would swing the weekend,
there's no way we can do 40 miles in a weekend. That would be like 20 miles a day, and you wouldn't be able to enjoy anything or see anything. It'd just be like, let's get through it.
Yeah, we just
so many waterfalls and so many cool things. It's you want to do 8 to 10 miles a day, because then you can stop and look at stuff. We have shipwrecks that are right off of Lake Superior, because this walks right along the edge of Lake Superior. It's up on a cliff. So freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, it's really incredible, because you're walking and you see these waterfalls coming off and dropping 300 foot down, and it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
That view sounds beautiful.
Yeah. Next year, we should actually I'll put it out to all the Lego Masters and see how many are adventurous enough to do this.
Well, I know my man Viva Lego is in here, and that's Manny. I know Manny will be down for that. Out there in the great outdoors. I would love that, man. Honestly, like I've done so many backpacking trips where the only thing you can bring is your backpack, and that's it. You know, you have your rations and everything like that, but that's all you could bring. And we would go deep into the woods, and I would never forget. One time I did it, and I forgot my sleeping bag. And everybody had the sleeping bag, and they said, "Well, Corey, you can't sleep with any of us." So I said, "All right, no problem." So I took a rock, I rolled my jacket up. It was warm enough, and I had it, and I positioned myself, and I was out like a light. And I said, "Hey, wherever I'm at, I'm gonna make it work." So I had a fun time doing that.
Yeah, Manny, no Lego. You can't take Lego.
Yeah, man.
You got to have. Your backpack has to be so tight, because you don't want that extra weight. After 10 miles of carrying weight, you do not want that extra weight. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. They taught us that, when I was younger and I was doing these different wilderness classes and stuff like that. It was part of like a church program and stuff. Yeah, that was the one thing. They said, "Hey, pack like you're going away for a weekend," and they didn't tell us what to pack. We packed everything, and I need different pairs of clothes. I need different types of sneakers. Oh my gosh, it was ready to go. We had our suitcases. We were ready to go. They were like, "We're so happy you guys did that, because you can only bring one thing, and that's the backpack on your back. So how are you going to fit all this in that backpack?" So, some of us were being smart and like, we can do it. We're big, we're strong. Once we got on that hike and we had to walk 2 miles before we get to our campground, oh man, we were feeling it. But we learned. You trial by fire. You learn. That's how you learn.
Yeah, my son and I did this exact same hike last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was him, and it was actually Zach, and then my nephew Josiah. And because the way that this pictured rock section works is you've got to reserve your campsites like at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But we didn't do that, and so we had a hike. I think it was 22 miles between campsites. Man, we were so dead at the end of it. It was so, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That was the hardest hike I think. It was up and down these hills, and it was like, once we laid down that night, we barely got our tents up. Zach actually sleeps in a hammock, but we barely got stuff up, and we were out cold, like just done, just so tired.
That is tough. Like, I hate elevation and then going downhill and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, that just. You just have to be mentally ready. It's not a matter of like being physically fit and anything like that. You have to be mentally ready to take on that type.
There's no doubt it's a mindset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your body. It's amazing. I know we're talking like deep stuff here, but I think this is so cool. I love this conversation.
Oh yeah.
Right? So, but what I found, I actually read a book. It's called "Coming Out of the Ice." It's no longer in print.
Okay.
But it was an individual that got sent to the concentration camps, and get this, he actually loaded a car rail full of logs by himself. Our minds, like our bodies, say that they're ready to quit at about 10 or 20% of what we can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the mind, the power of the mind, that you can actually push your body through and accomplish something almost inhuman type feats, like this guy did. I mean, they basically took him out to kill him. That's why they put him out there, because he was in a concentration camp. They said, you can't get back to the camp until you load this rail car full of logs. And he did it by himself. I'm like, dude. Like that's insane.
By himself, you know what? When the body is determined, even if like you're on a trail and you're walking and you're tired, you're exhausted. But I guarantee you, if you step on something and it makes a certain sound and it sounds like some type of creature, oh, you're going to have the energy to run. You're going to have the energy to move more. And it's just like you said, it's a mindset. Your body can do so much more than you feel you can't do.
Yeah, that's the truth. I've seen all these comments on people about our one of the guys is talking about the Doofenshmirtz, our evil scientist Doofenshmirtz.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
One of the big things people said, if you ever give advice to anybody else that's going to go on Lego Master, what would that advice be? And I'm kind of curious. Have you gotten that question, Sam?
Oh, several times.
What's your answer to that?
Every time. My answer has always been this. Number one, post. That's number one. Post your work. Be proud of your work. Stand by your work. That's number one. Number two, whatever your personality is, you have to be at an 11 or 12 if you want to be on Lego Master, because even though they're looking for builders, they're also looking for personalities to be on TV. And the third thing is you have to carve yourself to be the only person, or the only, in this case, Corey, that Lego Masters will ever have. So what I mean by that, I said when me and my brother were at auditions, we looked around the room. We said, all right, there are builders who can build way better than us, and they can build faster than us, and they've been building for a long time. What is going to make me and my brother stand out outside of everybody else who are building? So I said, okay, well, our characters, we have to be at 11, and our look has to be different from everybody else's. And once you've discovered those two things, you then have to show Lego Masters why you need us on your show. So in a way, you have to sell yourself, but in a positive way. So, that's the three things I tell people: continue to post, understand who you are, and be at an 11, and make them see that they needed you on the show season 1, season 2. They need you on the show. They need you more than you need them.
Yeah, that's so true. It's interesting as we were talking. Mm-hmm. I agree with all of those points. The one thing that I was looking at is the fact that once you are on the show, it's all about mindset. It's all about the ability to be able to continue and work through that. So I love what you said about it. So I've been calling you Sam's because your thing, just to kind of keep that connection. Hopefully that's okay. I don't know if I should call you by your first name or not.
But honestly, before you continue, my nickname is Sam's.
Okay.
So that's my nickname. And
because I know your first name is Corey, but I know that you go by Sam's here, so I was just like, oh, maybe I should be, because you just referred to yourself as Corey, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I should be saying Corey instead of Sam's. I'm like, wait, I don't know what to do now.
Sam's or Corey is fine. Sam's or Corey is fine.
Yeah, but that's the one thing too, that once you get on the show, you have to be mentally prepared to be able to withstand some of the challenges, and it's not I would say it's the intensity of the pressure, right? Because you've got your rules, you've got your clock, and it's tiring, it's exhausting at times. I mean, it's a good experience. I don't want to scare anybody away, but you have to be mentally prepared to stick to what like you just said. What is your personality? You got to stick to that. That's the main thing. You got to stay with your storyline and just really have the mental strength to be able to handle some of the questions or some of the pressure that's coming out. I call it the narrative, crafting your narrative. If you don't craft your narrative, then it's going to be really difficult to keep that straight and, that main road that you're trying to do.
And I have great respect for your season 2, because it was 12 teams. So there's a lot of people that America is trying to connect with. That was wind. The wind is blowing in. That they're trying to connect to. So that right there is working against you in the back of your mind. In the front of your mind, all you're thinking about doing, let me wind down this window just a tad. Because what I'm nervous about.
Go ahead and do that, because I'll say from our side, from season 2, we love each other in ways, and I've seen a couple people pop in here, the Billy and Bellas, or Bella Billy, I forgot which one it was. But anyway, between Natalie and Michelle, they were the ones that won the hat challenge here. And so, it's just, I am so thankful that we had the opportunity to get together and that we are so like-minded. And I think a lot of the Lego community is like this, where the competition is against the clock and it's against the rules but we love each other in ways that are pretty awesome. I mean, like, it's just really, really cool.
I was on a panel with a couple of the Lego Masters during which convention was this? Bricks by the Bay. So I had a couple of the Lego Masters there from season 1, season 2, and I see Dawn, and I forget who mentioned this, and I said that's exactly how we felt. The producers are telling us this is a competition, so please compete, and we're like, okay, no problem. As soon as they turn around, oh my gosh, I love your build. How did you do that? And we're helping each other. And there was a story about Moto, that Moto left his, I don't know if he left his teammate or he was helping out another team because the team was trying to figure out some type of function and they couldn't figure it out. Moto was like, I kind of have an idea of what you can do. Let me help you with that. And that's the community. That's the Lego community. That's how the Lego community should be. I mean, there's dark sides to every community, obviously. There's people who, will take advantage of a situation and everything like that. But the fact you guys got on the show, and as you're filming, you guys are automatically going to be drawn closer because you have a new experience together. And your experience is different from, I would say, well, obviously from us, because we were able to be a little bit more free because it's pre-COVID, but you guys were kind of stuck together in a sense, and I see that. I see that love. I see that support. I see that amongst your team, your season, and I'm excited because we're going to meet each other at some point. We're all going to connect at some point, and it's just going to be like two families that are like enjoying this big family reunion, and I'm excited.
So I feel like my season is we've got a family with my season, and then season 1 is like my cousins. That's kind of how I feel. Like, it's like, my cousins, and like we're gonna get together at the family reunion kind of thing. And I get to see all my cousins, right?
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. I feel the exact same way. And you know what? When I was on the show, that was the one thing I kept saying to everybody. I said, I come from a very big family. Lots of cousins, like over 50 cousins, first cousins, and uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, all that stuff. And where I come from, everybody's your family. Everybody's your brother. Everybody's your sister. That's your mentality. And being on Lego Masters, it was like everybody was brother and sister to us. So when elimination started to happen, it was really broken up. Like I remember the first elimination, we all went back to the dressing room and everything like that, and we all just kind of sat around, and we just sat there. Yeah, and it was just like they come in and say, "Hey, Boone and Mark, we need you guys in for your interviews. We need you for interviews." And they'll come over and they'll say the same thing to another team, and we're just like, "Okay, I'm ready."
And then in our situation, they had so it was kind of a group, a dressing room kind of a thing. I mean, we had partitions and all that kind of stuff, but we each had our own little segments, right? And then when somebody would get eliminated or get removed, their little section would just disappear.
Same.
And you're like, man, this hole is like, that's ouch. Like that was our family, and now they're not there. The one thing too, and I'll say this, and I don't know if this happened on your season, but I know they can't show all of this, but we had so much banter going on between us, between the two, whoever was on our right and our left as far as building. We had so much banter going on. We had such a good time between the other teams. The only exception to that was that some of the stuff that we had, we would get really, really intense, and all of a sudden everybody, it's just like this one moment, everybody would like really focus. Other than that, there was a lot of conversation going back and forth. I know they can't show it all, but man, we really had fun with each other. Just teasing or bantering or like, oh, I see that there. It was just a lot of fun to do.
In the build room while filming was going on.
Yep.
So there was on episode 2, there was a scene that they kind of used for promotional stuff in the commercial, but it was a scene where Christian and Nestor were talking to each other, and we were relatively close. And I think Nestor said something like, "I bet you I could do more push-ups than you." And then Christian just laughed because Christian at the time, he was the youngest on our group. I think he was like 22 at the time. And he was like, ha ha ha, like just kind of laughing off, like, sure you can. He was like, come on, let's do it. And then, they're doing push-ups. The clock is running. And the two of them are doing push-ups. And me and my brother, we're building, and we look over. And me and my brother, we're very competitive. But when it comes to athletic competition, because we couldn't play sports as kids because our mom, we were very competitive amongst each other and amongst our friends. So we saw that. We were like, you're not going to just do push-ups in front of our table and get away with it. And we're in, shirts and ties and jackets. Took our jackets off. We went over, started doing push-ups too. And all four of us were doing push-ups. And the camera crew was filming it. And after we were done, we were all laughing. We was like, oh, they're going to use that for TV. They didn't. But they used it for some of the advertisements to show, like, some of the backstage stuff that we were doing, and we were just having so much fun with each other and stuff like that. And I was happy that they did that, but they still kind of focus on unnecessary drama, which I get is a TV show. You want to kind of create a story under the story, so people can continue to watch. Yeah, but other than that, I really enjoyed those moments, just building with everybody in the build room and just knowing it's a competition, but also just feeling that sense of accomplishment, like, we made it, and we're recognized as, the best in our field, so.
Well, I think we figured it out. I think Moto did the math to be and hold the title, because you got that red card from Lego, so you're a Lego master, right? You get to have that title.
Yes.
In order to get that title, we are 1 in 7.5 million people, based on the population in the United States, right? Because I think there's 44 of us or something like that.
Yes.
So we were 1 in 7.5 million. I thought, dude, man, that makes me 1 in a million.
literally.
Yeah, literally. 1 in a million. So much
Only
fun.
Moto would do the math on that.
Oh, he gave us a whole bunch of math different titles and things like this. He's like, okay, do you realize that this is this and this? I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's where some of the math came out with Zach being the youngest at 18.
Yeah.
He's going up against some of these, for example, looking at some of these guys have got engineering degrees or architectural degrees, or like they've been building for years and years. I mean, for him, I'm so proud of that kid. I mean, like an 18-year-old going against basically full-grown adults that have had at least 5-10 years of experience on this stuff, and he's holding his own. I mean, he's totally holding his own. So I was really, really thankful for that.
When I saw the when they announced who was going to be on the show, and the first thing I always look at ages, because I always try to get an idea, because like from our season, the age range was very spread out. It was like youngest was 22, the oldest was like 65. So we were pretty spread out. So I wanted to see how they were going to spread out this season. And then I came across you and your son, and I saw his age, 18, and I was like, what I wouldn't do to be in his shoes, being an 18-year-old on Lego Masters. Like, he literally has his life ahead of him. And, he's literally kind of starting this adult life. And to say that, and technically, I believe I'm trying to go back and remember from all the other seasons around the world, the youngest is 18 legally to be a Lego Master.
They had a children's one.
They had a children's one, yes. Yeah. But
it was abbreviated, short, but still,
it still counts.
On a Lego Master show. So, I mean, from a worldwide perspective, he's not the youngest.
Yes.
From the U.S., he is the youngest just because of the labor laws and things like that. So,
right.
That's why I want to quantify, because I want to give respect to even, I mean, like just like I do with you guys with season 1 and season 2, there's a lot of respect going back and forth. There's a lot of respect also for the other worldwide Lego Masters. Like there's a lot of respect going back, and so I want to make sure I respect them because there are kids out there that have done that.
Yeah, I befriended one a couple of months ago. I think he was 15 years old. And he said he was the youngest Lego Masters in Belgium. And, I was speaking with him. I said, man, how does it feel to be the youngest Lego Masters, in your country? and he was just like, it's okay, I guess. I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, I would be losing my mind.
Zach is the exact same way. So of my kids, he's my middle child, right? He's the most introverted of all three of my kids.
Wow.
He does not like this attention. In fact, he's very, very thankful that in our hometown, most people don't even recognize us. So he's just like, he's so glad, so grateful for that. The interesting flip on that is if we go and we speak at a church and talk about our experience, he's all about that because he wants to share and be able to help and leave an impact that way. But when it comes to podcast interviews or TV interviews, he's like, Dad, can you just take it? Dad, can you just do it? Dad,
wow.
He's just like, I don't want to do it. You know.
that is so interesting. Again, kids his age would kill for this type of attention, and you're on network television, but everybody has different perspectives, and I don't fault him for that at all. That's amazing. That's amazing. And
he's got one Instagram account.
Yeah.
No Facebook, no Snapchat, no nothing. He doesn't have. He hates social media. Hates talking to people for the most part, unless he really knows you, or unless there's like a good connection. Like he's in his element when we go to the brick shows, whether it's Brick Fair, Brick World, whatever. He's in his element there. But just on a general perspective, he's just not. He's my introvert for sure. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and that's all good, And the fact that you guys go to churches and talk, that was the one thing because of the pandemic that really, really killed my it didn't kill it, but it kind of prolonged the testimonial part of being on Lego Masters. We had an opportunity to do a interview with a magazine that posts within the church and everything like that, and that was great. And and I had so many things that I had lined up to go to different churches and do this do the testimony. Like, hey, you don't have to think to yourself, oh, I'm a Christian, so my life is going to be boring. All I'm going to be doing is reading the Bible and sitting in church. Not necessarily. You can there's different ways that you can still minister, and you can have fun doing it. And that was the message that I was hoping to get out. And I'm still trying to get that message out and everything, but I think that's amazing. You guys are able to do that. So
it's definitely. So I'll share this with you, and this is my dream, right? This is where I want to go. I'm sure you're familiar with Tony Dungy.
Yes.
Okay. So he and Mark Morrell run All Pro Dad.
Yeah. All Pro
so
Dad.
I reached out to them, and I'm like, hey, is there any way that we can help out with All Pro Dad? Because that's like my passion and everything. And I know I was talking to Manny and Esther, and they're like, dude, if you can get that, I want in, man. I want in. But it sounds like I could even talk with you, and you'd be like, yeah, for sure, I'm in on that. But I just think that would be such an awesome experience, or such an awesome thing that we could share with All Pro Dad and be able to help build and work with the parent-child, father-son relationship. That would be, to me, I'm putting it out there. I want that to happen, right?
I mean, anything is possible at this point, and however I can help in that field, in that, count me in as well. That's the one thing I love to see people who have a passion, who has a dream, and if there's any way that I can help that dream, with my time, with my resources, whatever it is. I'm saying that right now, publicly, I'm down.
And Manny and Hester, they're both on the same. I think is it Hester?
That's Manny.
Okay. So so we were both. And I was talking to them. Actually on Father's Day, I was talking with them, and probably spent about a good 30 minutes talking about this kind of stuff. And man, it was just awesome. I love those guys already. I feel like they're my brothers already. They were just like, man, anything that we can do, let's just do it. Let's whatever we can do to influence dads. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. Sons, same way. I think it's such an awesome way to be able to just give back and leave an impact.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, the word I'm trying to use, we have a chance in this generation to change the stigma of what a dad is. Instead of the person that goes to work, bring home the bacon, so to speak, sit on the chair, watch sports, watch the news, and go to bed and have nothing to do with the child's life. We got to change that, and also encourage the fathers who may have not been stepping up to the plate as often, to get that urge to do that. Say, hey, you know what? I've been messing up. I want to make it right. I want to be able to be a part of my child's life. Hopefully, I would definitely love to be a part of that any way I can.
Well, I can't read this real well, but I think it's Teach is saying about talking to fathers in a home visiting program.
Oh, this makes me wish you guys were talking to fathers in my home visitation program. Yes.
Reach out to either myself. I don't know if Sam's would do this or not, but I'm going to put you on the line here, Sam. Just so you know, sorry.
No.
Reach out, and if we can do a Zoom call or we can talk via Zoom.
Okay.
Sometimes that's a real easy way to be able to set up a call. So reach out to us directly. If that's something that can work for you or that we can work out and the timing works, that by all means, I definitely want to be able to be of service in that way.
I know Teach to Kinder. I'm her daughter's Lego teacher. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I teach her daughter Matilda for over a year now. They were my first virtual students, and we meet every single Saturday to do our classes and everything like that. So yeah, definitely. That's definitely something we can that's something. Now that the world is opening up, there's more opportunities to be able to do these things. So
for sure, but we can always do them too, because there's situations where there might be a smaller group, and just financially, I can't go everywhere. It doesn't work out that way. But from a Zoom perspective, sometimes we're able to actually be there virtually. And now that we've kind of grown more accustomed to it, if there's any good that's coming out of COVID, is the fact that we've really been able to connect via digital. Now, it's not the same as being in live events. I get that. Totally get that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, a Zoom is, I would say, the second best thing. And now we've made that more of a normal, people are like, yeah, that's cool. I can do that. And, I know for Dave, who was on our season, he brought us in for his kindergarten class, and that was so much fun.
Oh, awesome.
His kindergarten class we just had such a blast doing that. That was a real cool thing to do.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I owe a good friend of mine that's on here. I have been saying I'm coming to his school to do I did a couple Zoom classes with him as well, and he's just been, hey man, we need you in person, and hopefully this school year that's coming up, we'll be able to do these type of things. He's very close by, so yeah.
My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna have to step off here.
Okay. Listen, Tim, wonderful conversation tonight with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Listen, we're gonna connect.
I wish I could reach through and give you a hug, man.
Listen, you come in Virginia, right?
Planning on it, as long as everything works out. Yeah.
All right, if you're there, I'm give you one of my patented Corey hugs. So
appreciate
definitely,
you,
man. But we're gonna connect, man. Hopefully, we can get some stuff done together along with Manny and Nestor, and just bonding. I need that, and I look forward to it, man. All right.
Have a great night, man.
You too, man. Dad, all day.
I can't. I got the phone in my hand. I can only
can't do it.
Like that. I got the phone. I can't do it all. All right. I love you, man.
Love you too. Love you too, Tim. All right. See you, bud. Oh man. See, this is what it's all about. Lego Masters. It goes far beyond just a TV show that we all get to watch. It goes way beyond just a show that we get to watch. We build these connections. We build these lifelong friendships. I have never met Tim in real life, but from the first time I reached out to him and we connected, I felt like I knew him my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a beautiful thing. And I hope you guys are enjoying tonight's Brick and Chat. I can tell you honestly, this was not the plan. This was not the plan for Brick and Chat, but Tim was on, and I'm so thankful that he reached out to come on, and we had a good conversation. And I hope the conversation was encouraging to fathers, mothers, caretakers, whatever the case is, whatever you are, whoever you are in the lives of your family. You are appreciated. Even if you don't hear it often enough by the people who are around you all the time, I'm telling you, you matter. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your patience. And just thank you for being the person that you are. Um, without you, who knows where your children would be, right? Um, I am missing a piece here. I I have no idea if if it's one of those Lego pieces I'm missing that they're not in here, or I just can't see it and I'm looking directly at it. But I did say there is a reveal tonight. So there is a reveal. So for this week's Summer of Sam's, we have an amazing and awesome theme, which is Team Spirit. Team Spirit means that your team, whoever is on your team, come together to work together for the common good. Um, the way that you work together, that you come together, is to defeat the opposing team, right? So that is what it's all about. Last week we had a winner, John Little Scrappy. He was our winner for the first week of the Summer of Sam's. So now tonight I'm going to reveal the Summer of Sam's week number 2 set that will be sent. Now I said that tonight is all about, this week is all about teams and working with a team. So what better team can I give away than this team right here, who did a lot of stuff, who got rid of a lot of things, and who fought some of the most dangerous opponents and won. Even though in one movie it took them 5 years to get this win, but they did it. It's in my background. You see it right above my head. The Avengers. There it is. So, this is the Lego set that you guys will get. Don't worry about that 4 and up. These are minifigures. So, as you can see, this is the set that will be revealed. This is the set that is revealed. This is the set that you can win if you are participating in this week's challenge. Now, in this set, you get a couple of things. Number one, you get a small little base for your characters, which is cool. You get your opposition, who is Loki. Outside of that, you get Captain Marvel. You get Iron Man. You get Thor. You get the Hulk. So you got a good team right here. So, once again, all you have to do in order to enter this contest is build something that says Team Spirit. Show your team spirit. That's all you have to do. Once you build it, post it, use the hashtag Summer of Sam's, and make sure you're following me on Instagram. If you do all those things, just 3 things: post, follow, hashtag. You do all 3 of those things. When I calculate and I bring all the names together, I will come on live and I will roll the wheel. And as I roll the wheel, spin the wheel, whatever you want to call it, whatever name pops up. And last time we did it, I shuffled the name 3 times in front of everybody. I clicked the button so I wasn't looking. And wherever that thing spun and whoever is spun on, that's who is going to win this amazing set. Okay? Team Spirit. 50 pieces or less. I'm glad you mentioned that, Teach the Kinder. I almost forgot that. 50 pieces or less. So that's the challenge. So once again, not every challenge is going to be, so easy. Next week's challenge might be a little bit more difficult. Might be easier. Who knows? Then again, next week's challenge is all about America. But this is the set that you can win for this competition. Once again, all you have to do, quite simple. Post, use the hashtag, follow Sam's Brago. That's all you got to do. Once you do those things, then you will earn your place on the wheel. And as I spin, hopefully you can win. Spectacular. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So I am All right, I'm almost done with the door, but I'm missing a piece. I can't see it on my board, and I'm not trying to believe that it fell off my board. Why would that be the one piece that fell off? And it's one of those pieces that is tricky to find. I don't even know if it makes sense for me to skip it. We're back on. Hey, Brickman, you don't gotta tell me that. If you can't do it, you can't do it. It's not obligated. You're not obligated to do these challenges. Okay? These challenges are simply fun and exciting type of type of uh, challenges. So I don't ever want you to feel like you're obligated to do it. Okay? So you don't have to tell me you're not doing it. What do you mean? Well, it was blowing earlier, but I wind down the window a little bit. All right. All right. I'm wasting time, so I'm gonna skip this step. So because I can't find it, and I bet you anything I'm gonna find it later on. I'm gonna find it later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation that I had with Tim. It was an amazing conversation. He is an amazing human being. I'm so happy and blessed that I got to connect with him. Um, through the show, because of the show. So that's a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing. All right, I'm almost done here. Hopefully, I built the door correctly and they're on the right side, but we'll see. Oh, for the missing piece? Yeah. The wind blew that particular piece. Of course. That would be my luck. That would be my luck. That would be my luck. It decides to blow that particular piece. All right. So it is Thursday tomorrow. My question: who has plans for the weekend, for the 4th of July weekend? What are you doing? Do you have plans? Are you doing nothing? Are you doing something? Are you going out with family? Are you traveling? You know, I'm going to a birthday party. I think it's on Sunday. So I'll be going to a birthday party. Okay, I'm hoping that this works. Where does this piece go? So this goes here. Does this go in here then? I don't know if this goes here. I think it does. You are not. I don't think it goes here. I think maybe it goes in here. Should go there. There we go. Got it. Ooh, door opening. Man, good job, Lego. I love when Lego makes things, everything works together. It's doing good. I like it. All right, so I got the doors on. So this time I was talking with Tim. Look at that. Get this in. Boom. There we go. I like this. I like the doors. The doors are cool. Doors are cool. These are fly. Okay. It is past my bedtime. So we're going to end. We're on page 14 on the 142 on instruction 142. So we'll get to this tomorrow. Tomorrow is bowling night, so I will be on later. Look who just decided to show up. Veteran Lego dad, Roger. Roger, we were singing happy birthday for like 10 minutes straight. No interruption. We kept singing it thinking that you were going to be in the room at some point, but you didn't come in the room until now. So now you got to go back. I just realized that you can go back. You can watch the beginning of this and see that I'm actually not telling the truth. So happy birthday again, though. Veteran Lego dad, happy birthday to you. Listen, this was unfortunately, this is the only military type shirt that I have because it is Popeye. Popeye was part of the U.S. Navy. So he is a Navy man, and he is Popeye. I don't know if he's American. Is Popeye American? I feel as though he is. Just his accent is just ridiculous. But I think Popeye is American. I'm gonna say he is American. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's American. All that stuff. I love those. I love those TV cartoons, man. Him and Brutus and Olive. Oliver. No. Yeah, was it Olive? Yeah, Olive. Yeah, he used to get that instant steroids. Popeye used to get those instant steroids, and that used to just go right to his forearms. Real quick before we leave for tonight, I remember Family Guy. So Family Guy, in its earlier stages, was really really funny. So they did a sketch where um, where Popeye is at the hospital and he's meeting with one of the doctors, and he's talking and he's like, and the guy is saying like, yeah, we finally figured out what's this on your arm, on your forearms. These are two big tumors that's on your forearms. And he's like, that lisp, that talking, you've had a stroke. And like in that thing like in that thing that you're doing, you have some type of disorder. Like, but the fact that you're walking around is nothing short of a miracle. And then he's talking to him like all gibberish and everything like that. And he says, you got about 2 weeks. I was like, I was rolling. I was dying. Anyway, enough said. Everybody, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hanging out. Tim, that Lego dad, thank you so much. Maker of the Dad Dab. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and sharing some words of wisdom from a father who has incredible children and just doing his thing. Roger, once again, man, have a great and happy birthday. Enjoy it to the max, my friend. Hope you enjoyed the stream earlier with Kate and all the good folks that came on to wish you happy birthday, man. Yeah, man. Happy birthday again, bro. All right, everybody. Take care. Be safe. Be good to one another. Today is June 30th. Tomorrow is the 1st. Tomorrow's the 1st. So that means rent is due. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Take good care. Peace.